People ask me all the time, should they buy a condo for their first home or a single family for their first home? I'm gonna give you some pros and cons about buying a condo so you can make the choice for yourself. What's up, y'all? Rob, Texas Realtor here in Dallas. Listen, I got pros and cons so you can decide whether you would like to get a condo or a single family house for your first home. First of all, condos are usually way cheaper than houses. Now, there are some high-end condos, but if you want to go for the cheapest, when you're looking for a house, condos usually hands down beat the price point, the lower price point in the neighborhood. A second thing is there's way less maintenance because it's definitely going to be some maintenance in a single family house versus a condo. You usually have people dealing with the front yard, dealing with the landscape and stuff like that. So it's much cheaper on that front, but you are going to pay. And I'll get to that in a sec. Another one is it is a great starting point. If you don't have a lot of money and you want to just get into real estate, if you get a condo, at least you can get going, gain a little bit of equity, and you can roll into a single family home afterwards. That's probably the biggest advantage. Okay, on the con side, first thing, most people know this, HOA. There's always going to be a HOA on condos. And what I don't like about condos, personally myself, is they can go up at any time. If they do some kind of project, I heard someone said that they were getting a roof done on their building one time. And after that HOA went up for a certain amount of years just because they got that huge remodel I should say roof done. Since they got the roof done, then everyone had to take the hit and pay more on the HOA from them that point on. A second one is they are more restrictive. Like you can do things to your yard and even homes, you have HOAs, right? But you can do less things to your yard and stuff like that on condos because it's one big building. It's really restrictive. And you have to get almost everything approved versus you can just go in your backyard and get something done, do some flower beds, whatever you want to do. But just know it's more restrictive if you get a condo. And you can't just do anything you want like you can with a house. Another one is an obvious one, shared walls. It's kind of like an apartment. Even though you own the place, you definitely can hear people through it. So if you don't have good neighbors, man, it might be some trouble with that. And you can be like, wow, I done bought this place and now I'm suffering still just like I did in my apartment. So that is probably the biggest one that people suffer through when they buy a condo and not a home. And last but not least, it's very important and it's a little scary, which would be resale, right? Condos sell a lot slower, from my experience, than single family homes because most people want their own space. They want their own house. And condos, sometimes you'll see 5, 6 in the same building for sale. And that's just not a good look. You have to compete with all these people right in the same building. And that's a tough spot to be in. So you better make sure if you're going to get one of these, you're going to be in a while. And it's going to be resellable. You can't just guess. You got to say, wow, okay, what does this thing offer that if I do go to sell, it'll be easier than the typical condo because they are tough to sell. Trust me. If you have any more condos, just reach out. And as always,